as far as us just being relatively like not the older guys on the team being juniors and seniors and, having 1 or 2 years left of eligibility, like we have no other choice than to be nothing less than a leader for our position group. And I know he agrees. And it's just little things, just like going to the field to work out, say, yo, y'all boys come with me if y'all want to, if y'all busy, y'all good. Like things like that, building that sense of camaraderie and building that like that team chemistry, like you're saying, like they've never had teammates like that come to them as much as possible, telling them to, yo, let's go to the field, yo, let's get some catches, and yo, let's watch some film. Like they've never had that. So like being the older guy, yeah, it's just like you have to be that leader and you have to be that bring everybody together type guy.
First time you guys met, when was it?
It depends on what you define as meeting. I mean, we played against each other.
Yeah. First time you ever literally physically were in the same area with each other, I guess.
Oh, yeah, probably like 4th grade, 5th grade.
So you guys knew about each other, even if you weren't on the same team? I assume you guys are probably the best players on your teams, respectively.
My older brother is the same age as him.
Yeah, okay.
He was, same year as him, graduated same year as a senior. And
yes, I mean, I've been playing Kyler
all through youth, so I've been knowing of him like for the longest time, yeah.
I've been playing Kyler since, I mean, me and him got into sports the same age. And when you're from Frederick County, I mean, any smaller county like that, then you play the same group of guys from those schools like for 12 years. You know what I mean? So I've been playing, I would say the first time, probably been like 6th, 7th grade when Cam was old enough to where like he was like starting for the older teams, if that makes sense, because he would have had to play up to play against me, right. And that's when it was.
So before you knew each other, you only knew each other as opponents, right? What did you guys think each other were like off the court, off the field, now that we're playing football, right? Like, and then what were you guys actually like once you actually got to meet each other? What was the perception versus reality?
I thought I didn't think you was as goofy as you were. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
more serious.
Like, I never thought this dude was like, yeah. Because I mean, like when the football comes around, dude's serious. Like the way he operates and stuff on the field. Like, but off the field, like I didn't think like bro was a jokester as much as he is. Like dude be saying anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because I mean I thought Cam was like this, like this is gonna sound like messed up because he is a hard worker, but the way, because like his body, like pause, but he's like all jacked up and everything, and like I just figured him to be like this, like he knew what he was doing, like working out wise, like 9 to 5, like I got this workout, I'm eating like this, like he's basically nocturnal, like he works out, gets his work in, he's gonna get a nice little 4-hour nap in, then come back, throw, maybe get a little extra lift, a little stretch, and he's eating whatever. So if he's on the seafood diet, he eats it. So
what is it? Okay, is there one food that he eats that, like, you guys are roommates, right?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So is there one food that he eats that you look at it and you're just like, I can't believe there's no way that a human would eat this?
Oh, that a human would eat this? No, but I'll tell you, like he's not eating anything gross, but I'll tell you, he will eat Einstein bagels and kava every single day.
That's actually not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, I could live off if there's 2 things on the earth, breakfast and dinner, I'm eating Einstein kava every day.
Every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
If you had to put him on your nutrition plan, what would you eliminate from his diet and what would you add? Let you play your nutritionist for a sec.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. He getting here, like, he's laughing because he knows too. Like, he came in a little, I ain't gonna lie, he knows it too, so I'm gonna say, but he came in a little chubby with some weight on him. So like, yeah, he came in like, body fat percent is higher than normal.
Yeah, we don't got,
slimmed down like the fast food and started eating like, dude started cooking their own steak, just straight protein, like.
Yeah, I didn't eat carbs for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, less carbs. Like, he didn't eat carbs for 2 weeks.
Did it work?
Going to go see his girlfriend. He came back. Bro, like, looked like malnourished or something.
Yeah, nah. That portal weight, I'm telling you, put it on. That's what happened.
So, okay, so you guys knew each other on the field. I mentioned the court because obviously basketball is part of both of you guys' background. Have you seen his dunk highlight on Twitter? Have you seen his pin tweet? Can he still do that? I'm asking you because I want to verify. I want to make sure that this is still a thing that can happen.
He still got it. Like, he needs to get taken through some real deal plyometrics to get that bounce back. But other than that, yeah, he's got it for sure.
Reese, best dunk you've ever had? In game first, and then trick dunk second.
I've never done anything crazy in game, which is kind of upsetting. It's a lot harder than you think. Like, you think like just because you can do like all these dunks that you'll be like, one is when you're like at a gym just doing dunks, it's usually like you're feeling really good, your legs are fresh, and then you're like, oh, I think I can do like a windmill, or I think I could do a 360, and you try it like 5 times in a row and you get it. In game, it's like you have to, especially like if you're in a half court setting, like if dudes are dunking in a half court setting, that means that they are effortless dunkers, to me at least, because it's like you have to be able to get down 1-2 or just like pick the ball up and go up and dunk it, or a fast break. I mean, I would just be like a rim graze, like literally just a one-hand dunk is the craziest thing I've ever done in game. But I would say like a off the glass windmill would be the best thing I've done off the court, or like not in a game. Shit.
Maybe 10 minutes just
Depends on how high the hoop is, but
all right.
I definitely. I mean, I could do a windmill. I don't know if I could do off the glass.
Yeah, how many? You guys are roommates now. You guys got to know each other now. How many one-on-one games have you played?
We usually team up.
Team up. So it's okay.
We're usually teaming up.
Yeah.
So that's good, right? Teammates. So I went back into the archives. I found Cam's AAU highlight tape, and before the highlight tape starts, he's got his superlatives on there. Reese, I need you to either say yes or no. Are these true or are these false statements? First one, lights out from 3-point range.
Yo,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I lost my jumper.
No. I ain't trying to. No. Because he's a great shooter, but we got to put it into perspective. I mean, because then what am I?
There you go.
If you lights out 3 points, if you a lights out 3-point shooter, then what am I? Like
Your power outage from
lights ain't
3-point
never
range.
been on.
Yeah.
I'm a lights ain't never been on 3-point shooter.
Okay, next one was elite speed and quickness.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Floor general controls tempo. I know probably 2-on-2 not.
Controls tempo is the only thing you had to put on that entire superlative.
And that's true?
Yeah.
Okay. Scores at mid-range.
Yeah.
I think you just put like every basketball thing on here. Great passer / unselfish.
100%. But those all go together. He's just like he's just not a white Luka. He's a light skinned Luka.
Luka, baby.
He light skinned Luka.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, that's like, because you know how Luka plays like slow.
Yeah.
Like, my game on the football field and my game on the basketball court is just totally two different things. Like, I'm fast, powerful, explosive on the football field. When I get to the basketball court, I'm like slow.
Yeah, but I would argue that they complement each other, just like the pace, though. Like this is something I never played this way in sports, but you always like know it when you see it. Is a guy who like controls the entire pace of a game. You know, like whenever he has the ball in football or whenever he has the ball in basketball or whatever the sport is, that like the entire team is going to play to his speed, because it's like watching Luka. Like that's what I said. It kind of as a joke, but it's serious. Is like he's not the most athletic guy, like not even close. You know, just from like a pure athlete standpoint. But when he has the ball, you can't speed him up, you can't slow him down. And I think that's how I would describe how he played. But then in football too, it's kind of weird how like similar it can be, like running a go route. Like you would think a guy's going to try to get up to 100% speed, but you know, Cam will win the go route. It's like not really getting anything over 85% speed. So,
and that's what I was getting to too. With basketball, obviously not the same thing as football, right? But it does sort of like you're saying, like controlling the pace of the game, right? Like dictating the tempo. So how have you guys, the 2-on-2 basketball stuff, how does that translate to throwing routes and bringing it back to the football field, or does it not at all?
No, I mean, I think, I actually don't think that's a bad question at all. I think like little stuff like that, and this sounds like funny because it's like hard to relate to, but the more stuff that you're doing, like people don't realize how much that off the field stuff plays into the on the field chemistry, because it allows you to, you know, when you're messing around playing basketball and Cam does something dumb or I do something dumb, and you can talk to him in a certain way, like, yep, even though we never take it serious enough to get like mad, but it allows you to then have like your relationship on the field, you know, the communication be better, the relaxed nature of your relationship it makes it just a lot easier to perform.
And then you guys being the new guys, Cammy answer first, and then Reese. How do you do that with a whole new group of guys? And it's not just you two who are new. With the transport era, like half the roster's new. So how do you guys? Is it playing basketball? Is it doing the cookouts and stuff like that? Like, how do you guys get that sense of community quickly heading into spring?
Well, I mean, as far as just like being like, as far as us just being relatively like the older guys on the team being juniors and seniors, and having 1 or 2 years left of eligibility, like we have no other choice than to be nothing less than a leader for our position group. And I know he agrees, and it's just little things, just like even like if you're going to the field to work out, say, yo, text the group chat, say, yo, I'm going to work out. Y'all boys come with me if y'all want to. If y'all busy, all good. Like things like that, building that sense of camaraderie and building that like that team chemistry. Like you're saying, like they're telling me things like they've never had teammates like that come to them as much as possible, telling them to, yo, let's go to the field. Yo, let's get some catches, and yo, let's watch some film. Like they've never had that. So like, yeah, just being the older guy, yeah, it's just like you have to be that leader and you have to be that bring everybody together type guy.
Did you agree?
100%. I mean, I think you got to know how to be a vet, as weird as that sounds. Like if you, I've learned this from so many guys, before me. And I know that, I mean, I learned the game of football through vets, through guys that were older than me. Like, I mean, like you can only learn so much from a coach, but every player can relate to this. Everybody has dumb questions. Everybody has questions that you don't want to ask the coach. You don't want him to think that you don't know it. And having, veteran guys or older guys, they're going to take you to the field and walk you through stuff, or take you to the film room and walk you through things in a way that, when you're a freshman, you're drinking tequila through a fire hose. You're trying to figure out like, oh my God, I just learned 50 plays in a week. Like, and I don't even remember what formation this is, So you have all these different variables, and to have like older guys that are there to be like, just calm down. Like, you're going to be all right. Chris Jimerson was like probably the most famous high school quarterback in Texas this year, won the state championship. And then he gets to gets to college, and it's like, oh my God, like I'm not the guy anymore, like yada, yada, yada. And having people like that you can go to and just ask like, bro, like, I don't know what's going on. Just help me. Like, I think that really brings a group together.
You mentioned the dumb freshman questions. Dumbest question you ever asked as a freshman?
Oh, me? Oh, bad. Like,
bad?
Bad. Like,
so you can relate, right? So
absolutely.
like what was one that you think back to and like, why did I think that was a good thing to say out of my mouth?
I mean, I'm just thinking back now, like, I remember when we would have plays, just like the difference of how that I like think about the play, right? So let's say we had like cross, for example, swipe across the board. You got a go route and out route, a crosser route, a post dig, and a swing, a check swing, right? If you're running out of 2x2. In my head, like when I would learn that play as a freshman, I would walk up to the ball and I'd be like, all right, the outside guy has a go. The inside guy has a 10-yard out. And like, I'm just like trying to think of like what everybody has. Like, this is while I'm just got the play. And I remember asking, our GA at Old Dominion, like, how do you, like, when you walk up to the play and you're trying to like figure out what the coverage is, like, who do you look at? And he's like, how do you have to worry about what the coverage is when you don't even know what the play is? And I was like, that's a good point. I was like, that's a good point.
That's funny.
And so what is it? Because obviously freshmen say and do stupid things, but that's after playing high school and being successful. So like, why is it so much harder to go from senior high school to freshman college? Like, isn't it sort of the same stuff, or is it just like a whole different?
I'm gonna tell you, it's a whole different game. And him being at schools like ODU and Albany, teams higher level than Division II Shepherd, like, when I first got out of high school, I thought I was good at running routes. I thought I was good at knowing the tempo of the game and where to be on time and be quarterback friendly. And I thought I was good at that. And when I got to summer, I had Tyson basically hit me up because he was one of those dudes that, got those dudes out to the field every day, hit me up, asked me to throw. And I went to go throw with him. I didn't catch one pass on air because I was not used to how fast he was throwing the ball. I didn't know how to break down. Like, I didn't even know like basic just route running technique that I thought I knew. Like, so like And we have a strength coach, Coach Kagans. He says things to us like, you think you know everything, but you don't. And that's like a perfect example of like, I thought I had everything and I didn't. Cause when I was an athlete, I did good at Oakdale and I got to, got to shepherd, D2, and I couldn't catch a pass from the quarterback on the air cause I couldn't stay up on my feet. So yeah, it's just high school and college, no matter what level, it's just day and night, completely two different games. Yeah.
And for you as a quarterback?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's just like, it's the concepts. It's really, but the biggest difference is like how the play's installed. I think in high school, you just have, this is the biggest difference. One, like the pressure's way less. Because you got to think, when it's usually not a shock when you're starting as, going into your senior year, going into your junior year of high school. You've been, the roster's kind of been set at most times for like 10 years. So it's like you're very comfortable with your role. There's nothing that you're trying to figure out, if that makes sense. So the pressure element's not there. And then on top of that, just the way it's installed, like there's way less the coaches don't intervene as much like from a game planning perspective. Not that it's a good or a bad thing. But in college, like this is how they feed their families. Like they take pride in the game plan aspect of it. One, they have 10 times the resources, and two, they have like 10 times the amount of time to put into it. Most of your high school coaches are teachers most of the time. So all day, all they're doing is thinking about like, how can I make this one play good versus 20 different coverages? And mind you usually have 60 different passing concepts, like at most. Like that's just the bare bones of it, without all the different like configurations of how we can run it out of different formations with this protection, with that tag on it. And so then when you're trying to learn just one play and where to go with the ball versus 5 different looks, 5 different coverages, or if they bring pressure, now I got to check to this protection, or if we're already in a 5-man protection and we're sliding this way, so I know I'm hot off anything extra here. Now I got to know if he comes, I'm hotting that. All while if you don't, you're getting screamed at by a coach or getting caught like embarrassed. It's from experience, trust me, from being a freshman, getting embarrassed in front of your teammates who you've been telling you're like really good and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like all that mixed in is just the freshman experience in itself,
Yeah. I mean, I think that is a moment for everybody as a freshman, because everybody is first team all everything when they come into a college locker room. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, everybody is like, like you're saying, like you hype yourself up and then all of a sudden you realize everyone's just as good. I want to ask you guys too, because you've been at D2, now you're at D1, you've been at different levels of D1. Like, is there a noticeable difference, or is everybody good everywhere and it's just a matter of where you ended up?
Yeah, everybody's good everywhere.
Exactly what you said. Everybody's good everywhere. It's just the opportunity and where you end up I think that's just what it comes down to for I had a lot of players on my team a lot of DBs on my team at Shepherd that could easily play at this level 100%. And it's just the way things shake, though. It's just regardless of what they do off the field, on the field, like that's just how their best opportunity, and they couldn't get in contact with anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like yeah, like you said, totally agree with that. It's just like sometimes it's just about who you know, like
Yeah, I mean 100%. I mean you gotta think like my time in Miami, best player on our team had 0 stars and didn't have a single offer out of high school. Being Cam. So. I think it's just one of those things where, I mean, recruiting's hard. I feel like a lot of college coaches get too much respect sometimes when they quote unquote find like a 5-star who was, born at 6'8", 325 pounds. It's like, oh yeah, like where do you go? You found that guy.
Out. Yeah. Oh, turns out the guy was real Megatron is good at football. Oh my God, I couldn't figure that out.
Buddy's a Decepticon. But. And then there's obviously the sleepers that get found occasionally, but then sometimes they don't. So it's definitely like a hard process. And I think recruiting quarterbacks is the absolute hardest process. Just because it's so easy for a guy to like the same makeup and build of one guy who became an NFL. Sometimes that dude is, quits the football team and just becomes a finance major like a year later, with the same measurables and everything. So it's definitely a weird thing, but from my experience, like I have two receivers at Albany that both would have played at Miami and both now are both having opportunities in the NFL at the Packers and the Jaguars, Brevin Easton and Julian Hicks. And then, I'll just speak to Cam because he's here, but there's other guys on our roster as well in the receiver room that 100% could have played at Miami or played anywhere that I've been. But Cam, being for me the main one that could have played anywhere. Like, it's just truly. I think that it has a lot to do with where you went to high school, and I know that everybody already knows that, but when you look at it from a college's perspective, it's like, okay, we have this guy who's really good and this guy who's equally as good, but this guy's been playing against other college caliber Division I players that he's going to be playing against. Okay, he'll be ready faster. And it's a lot of times you don't factor in how much of like the mentality or like the mental makeup of a kid matters, because when you get into college and then all that stuff we were just talking about being a freshman, if you can't get over that, or if you had it too good in high school and you were that 5-star kid and you're not used to not playing and you're not used to being, I saw it at Miami with multiple people that struggled with that, and I don't know, it'll either make you or break you. And a lot of times the kids that have already been battling or went to D2 or played at FCS school, like, it's nothing for them. Yeah. Like, they've already had it the worst that you can have it, and it's a lot easier for them.
And you guys, actually, well, Cam, you're a little bit younger, so maybe not as much for you, but Reese, definitely, like, you were in college before the NIL era, then all of a sudden it happens. Have you noticed the mindset of athletes has sort of changed from being a college student to a pro, or is it still kind of the same thing, or is there a little bit more of I got to take this more as a job now that there is other factors other than scholarship on the line?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, obviously, like you said, other factors are on the line. It does, like, give incentives, for athletes to, go make their money or go get what they want and stuff like that. And yeah, I think it's definitely changing the mindset of some athletes, as far as just opportunity wise. Cause, coming from, small schools like us, we just look for opportunity, and like, we know, like, if we get opportunity and we ball out, the money will come eventually. And I don't think some of these people, like some of these kids in the portal, are realizing this stuff. Like the money, like, if you want to get to the NFL, like, I think that's just like mostly everybody's going to college. Like, if you want to get to the NFL, like, the last thing somebody should be worried about is getting paid right now. Like, and the only thing you should be worried about is just playing ball. Like, and I think that's where the game has just like kind of just shifted. It's more like college is turning more into just basically semi-pro,
right?
Where it's just, the players are getting paid, and it's just like, now it's just like, are there really that many athletes that really inspire to be in the NFL? Because, I mean, why would they if they can just get $1 million in college, or just a few $100,000 in college? Like,
yeah,
that thing's changed the game for sure.
100%. I mean, I explain it like this. Like, when I was at Miami, it obviously, like, it kind of just felt like we were free agents, if that makes sense. And I had it, like, this isn't like anything negative. This is just the fact of what it is, because Miami's not the only one. This is, at most of those places, it's like this. But you get paid so much money, and what happens is when you go to the NFL, like, you're signing up for that. Like that, okay, this is now my job. I'm getting paid by the organization. Everybody knows what I'm getting paid, and everybody on the roster is getting paid. So it's not like this weird thing. You don't feel any type of way because, like, everybody's getting paid. In college, when only some guys are getting paid, or only the good players like, it creates kind of this just like elevation on the team. And it separates the team a little bit if you don't go about it the right way. But the biggest thing that I've seen is there's not as much of this, like, this holistic team atmosphere where they're all chasing, like, to be at the bigger schools, so, like, chasing this one goal or chasing to be better. Because it's like you have this, what it is at those programs, because I mean, people are making crazy money, like money you wouldn't even understand, to where, like, you have this backup plan already. You know what I mean? Like, you're pretty much already taken care of, like, or at that time you feel that way because you're 18, 19 years old making millions. And the development piece that used to be there just isn't really there anymore. That makes sense. Like, it has to be, and there's kids that work their ass off, right? And they do develop in the right way because they're just wired that way. Some people are just wired that way. But some kids who would have found that, desire to develop and chase those offseason numbers and become this type of player. Now you have all this money, and the offseason changes because now you've got $2 million, and I don't have to be in here 3 extra times this week. I don't have to be doing all this stuff because I already am kind of taken care of, where it's like before that, it was like, man, if I don't go to the NFL, I'm going to have this, like, I'm going to be a gym teacher. I'm going to be a banker. I'm going to be this, where it's like, yeah, those are all fine jobs. But when you're a college athlete, you want to be a professional. Like, you want to be a professional in that sport. And sometimes that kind of gets lost now.
So my guess is, from both of your guys' perspective, advice is money now is great, but that's not the end goal. The end goal is the money later, right? Like delayed gratification. Is that kind of both of your guys' mindset?
I mean, you should like ask yourself, like, the best thing I ever heard is, like, ask your 8-year-old self, like, what would you rather have? Like, would he rather be playing like he wants to put on the freaking Vikings jersey, the Cowboys jersey, the whatever team, and be playing for them? And that's like, to make yourself like a kid is kind of like that. That's where you find that true joy and happiness, is the way that I like to put it, because the money's cool and it's very easy to say it, but maybe like having it a little bit, I can tell you from the perspective of getting it, at Miami and other places where playing is, I would have traded anything to be playing, for the last season at Miami. And that's just the God's honest truth. Like, playing overtakes all, and it forever will, at least for me.
I mean, yeah, just to feedback on that, I definitely agree. Like, just making yourself feel like that kid, having that kid mindset, and having that, like, when you're a kid, like, everybody's love for the game was super strong. Like, everybody wanted to go out, like, take every chance. I don't know about y'all, but I took every chance to go play football and basketball at any time. Like, that type of love for the game, I feel like, is lost. And it's like even like, some people think I'm crazy, but I love practice. I love going out there and practicing. I love going out there and playing football, because that's literally what I work hard for. I work hard in the weight room just to come out here and run routes, and that is like my joy, just running routes. And I think, as far as just the love of the game, it's just like, it's obviously, I think kids are starting to lose it now.
So last question. We're here in North Texas now, so I know it's going to be a cliche question, which might produce a cliche answer. Goals for the season for both of you guys individually and as a team. We'll go with you first, Cam.
First, I say, as a team, we want to go undefeated this year. That's our goal.
Want to know every week.
Want to know every week.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, start with that. Yeah, want to know every week to be undefeated this year. And man, I've never been the one to sell myself short. And I think our goal should be to make playoffs this year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to have any other goal, I think, would just be having zero confidence in yourself and your team. Obviously, I want to win every single game. I want to beat Lamar by 100 points, and then, like I said, like, give us an opportunity to go win the conference. And I think if you win the American Conference, you have a really good chance of making a playoff. That's just what it is. But putting those lofty goals out there sounds good, and can easily be clickbaited. But I think that the biggest thing is like you said, it's a cliche question with a cliche answer, and want to know every single week, and that's the only way to obtain any type of goal that you want as a team.
I lied. One follow-up question. So, seeing Boise State get a first-round bye last year, in the playoffs as a Group of 5 team, has the mindset of Group of 5 teams completely changed? Because now it is a possibility. With 4 teams, it was not. Now it's like, it really can happen. So,
absolutely.
Is there a different sort of thought process now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you see someone do something that is deemed not possible, or just, no, it's never going to happen. It's just like, and you see it happen, it just makes you think, like, dang, like, okay, maybe we can do this. Like, obviously it puts some type of level of confidence in you, like, and seeing what Boise State did last year was pretty impressive, obviously. And like, definitely gives a team like us, like, and players like us some confidence to, go in there and do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he said it best. Once you see it get done, now you know it's possible. And I know that, they played and they got in with a loss too to Oregon. Obviously, it wasn't a bad loss, but I think with us, we have a very, very winnable out of conference game with Washington State, and I know it'd be cool. It's at home as well. We don't have an easy schedule by any means, but we have a very winnable schedule, and I think we all know that. And yeah, I mean, just being confident, we can win every single game. If you do that, I mean, it's kind of like, it's just math at that point. If we go undefeated, we'll be in.
Can't argue that. Math
Yeah.
is math. What is that, 13-0? 13-0 should be good enough, I think.
Yeah. You get into that.
All right, thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you,
Yeah.
man.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.